What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. We're going to continue with grudge match 24. And this was a grudge match. Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum from Brooklyn, New York. He was a junior WBA middleweight champion. And he had a problem with all Kronk fighters. Because Mike McCallum was in the 1976 Olympic Games. He won a junior middleweight division, bronze medal. And Sugar Ray Leonard was in the same games, but he would wind up winning the junior welterweight champion gold medal. And from that point on, all of those guys at that time were overshadowed by Sugar Ray Leonard. So Mike McCallum figured, what better way to get on top than join the Kronk gym? And that he did. But then he was overshadowed by Thomas the Hitman Hearns and Mike McQuarrie. And he couldn't catch a break. So Donna the Cobra Curry wound up being a part of the Kronk stable for a short term. Emmanuel Stewart would be the trainer for Donald Curry. And Mike McCallum would go over to main events, where Lou Duver ran the camp. And these two gentlemen would run into each other July 18th, 1987. And a left hook from hell would find the chin of Donald Curry. And he would go out crucifixion style. I want to get into that fight, but I want to do it with you right here on the Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. What a fight. This is when boxing was boxing, I'll tell you. Donald the Cobra Curry. They called him the Lone Star Cobra. He was born September 7th, 1961, Fort Worth, Texas. He stood 5 foot 10 and a half inches and weighed 145 to 160 pounds. Now, Donald Curry had well over 400 amateur fights. 1977, he would win the Junior Olympics at 135 pounds. 78, the AAU 139-pound champion. 1979, the AAU 147-pound champion. 1980, he won the World Cups. And he would be on the Olympic team in 1980. But due to the boycott, he would not make those games. His manager was Dave Gorman, trainer Paul Ray's, cutman Ace Murata. He would hold the WBC 156-pound championship belt, WBC 147-pound championship belt, the WBA 147-pound championship belt, and the IBF 146-pound championship belt. Fascinating. Actually, he would win a 156-pound championship belt. He would fight fighters such as Marlon Starling, the original Magic Man, Moochie Man. He would face Milt McCoy, Bruce Finch, Carlos Santos, Adolfo Viruet, Rene Jacquet, Roger Stanford. Roger Stanford would be the trainer today for Adrian the Probabona, Nino Lavacha, and Tony Montgomery, James Green, just to name a few. He would turn professional, 1980, Mario Tino, Las Vegas, Nevada. And he would knock him out in one round. 1981, 9 fights, 8 KOs, won by a 10-round decision. 1982, 5 fights, 2 KOs, 3 decisions. May 4th, Bruce Finch, NABF welterweight championship in Las Vegas. And he would knock him out in 4 rounds, become the NBF welterweight championship title holder. July 10th, he would fight Adolfo Viruet, and he would defeat him in 10 rounds. October 23rd, Marlon the Magic Man Starling, Atlantic City, New Jersey. I was at that fight. He would defeat him in 12 rounds, and he would defend his NABF and gain a USBA welterweight championship. Brilliant start to an outstanding career of Donald the Cobra Curry. 1983, 2 fights, 1 KO, 1 decision, 15 rounds. February 13th, he would defeat Jung Kong Wong, Fort Worth, Texas. He would defeat him in 15 rounds and win the WBA welterweight championship. Donald Curry was some fighter, and he was looked at to be one of the greatest welterweight champions in the last 20 years at that time. February 4th, he would face Marlon the Magic Man Starling. He would face him in Atlantic City. I was at that fight, New Jersey. Defeat him in 15 rounds, WBA, IBF. He would have 3 title defenses. 1985, 4 fights, 4 by the knockout route. January 19th, he would face Colin Jones, Birmingham, England, and he would knock him out in 4 rounds. WBA, IBF welterweight championship was on the line. March 30th, James Hard Rock Green, Dallas, Texas. He would knock him out in 2 rounds. December 6th, Milt McCory, Las Vegas. He would knock him out in 2 rounds. And that would be for the WBA, WBC, and the IBF championship. He would be the unified welterweight champion. And that was a vicious knockout. Milt McCory would go down, he would get up, but he would stagger. As soon as the referee said it would be okay, Donald Curry went right over, hit him with a straight right hand and flattened him. Unbelievable. Outstanding welterweight was Donald Curry. 1986, the Ragamuffin Man. September 27th of 86, Lloyd Hunnigan, Atlantic City. I was at that fight. WBC, WBA, IBF would be on the line, and that fight would be stopped due to a vicious headbutt. Donald Curry couldn't see, he couldn't function, and Lloyd Hunnigan would get one of the biggest upsets in welterweight history. He would become the WBC, WBA, and IBF welterweight championship title holder. But he would be a world champion. Fascinating fighter was Lloyd, the Ragamuffin Man, Hunnigan. 1987, USBA 156-pound champion. He would fight Tony Montgomery, February 7th, Las Vegas, Nevada. He would win on a foul in 5 rounds. Tony Montgomery kept headbutting Donald Curry to the point where at the end of the 5th round, Donald Curry would walk right over after the end of the round, fight is over, and he would snuff Tony Montgomery. Tony Montgomery was the sparring partner for Donald Curry. And he would bust Donald Curry's front lip due to that headbutt. Unbelievable. Remember that fight like it was yesterday. April 4th, Carlos Santana, Las Vegas, Nevada. Once again, Donald Curry went on a foul in the 5th round. USBA 156-pound championship belt was on the line. July 18th, Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum, Las Vegas, Nevada. WBA 156-pound championship. And I'll tell you, that was one of the widest left hook KOs that I have seen. And I've seen a lot of left hooks. And Mike McCallum's left fist met Donald Curry's chin. And out he went. Crucifixion style. You can count to 100 and he wouldn't get up. He tried to get up and he went on his left shoulder or his right shoulder and he couldn't make it. And that was a vicious left hook. Lou Duva picked up Mike McCallum and it was vindication time. Unfortunately for Donald Curry, he would continue. He faced Michael Nunn, 1990, and he was knocked out. Terry Norris, 1991, 156-pound title belt, WBC, and he'd be starched in 8 rounds. But Donald Curry was a fascinating fighter. Salute to Donald Curry. Mike the Body Snatcher McCallum, born December 7th, 1956, Kingston, Jamaica. He had a record of 49-5, won with 35 by the knockout route. He had over 240 amateur fights. He lost 10. 1976 Olympic Games. He would win a bronze medal in the junior middleweight division. He would win every single medal that could be won from 1974 to 1979. A phenomenal amateur. Won them all. He would have his professional debut February 19th, 1981. He would get a 4-round knockout, have 11 fights and 11 KOs that year. 1982, 6 fights, November 13th. He would have a 7-round KO, Atlantic City. Abu Kalabi, I was there at that fight. 1984. He would fight Sean Money, New York, and win the vacant 156-pound title. 15-round affair. I was at that fight. 1986, August 23rd. Julian the Hawk Jackson, Miami Beach, Florida. Knocked him out in 2 rounds, WBA 156-pound championship. I was at that fight. 1987, July 18th, he would face John O. McCurry, WBA Junior Middleweight Championship. And he would knock him out. Devastating fashion. You see, Mike McCallum was another fighter, like Aaron Pryor and others, who was overshadowed by Sugar Ray Leonard. And when you're overshadowed like that, and he accomplished more things in the amateurs than Sugar Ray Leonard did, he just didn't win the gold medal. He had a better talent, I believe he did, than Ray Leonard. But he was overshadowed. And he held a vendetta, like Marvelous Marvin Hagler did. And when he got a hold of Donald Curry's chin, he flattened him out like a pan of pancakes. I'll tell you, that's a grudge match. Mike McCallum, Donald Curry. Fascinating fight, 1987. Salute to those fighters. Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This is a grudge match, beyond grudge match. Salute to my subscribers. Look out for the next grudge match series. Coming your way soon. Peace.